Hey guys, so today in today's video, I'll be ranking the death maps by how good they would be in, well, in Forsaken. By Forsaken, I mean, like, the killers, how good the killers would perform in these maps. Basically what I mean, like, imagine the killers in Forsaken, like Jason, well, I mean Slasher, of course, they have to change his name, covered. But, like, imagine Slasher in a map, and that's basically what we're gonna be ranking, like, how good he is. In this video, we're going to be counting everything, every killer. We're not going to count survivors, we're just going to count, like, circumstances, like looping spots, and yeah. Let's go. Oh, and also I should probably add that we're not doing this from worst to best. We're just picking any maps, and then we're gonna say some pros and cons, and then we're just gonna say the ranking from 1 to 10. So first of all, let's start with Slasher. First of all, this map isn't bad for Slasher. There isn't too many places to run, and Slasher takes advantage of coring people, and there are multiple ways to do this. There's that hole, then there's the drop, where Slasher can just go back there. Now, the disadvantage, there are multiple looping spots, like the rock in front of you right here, the rock next to that, and then the house. Those are very good looping spots. Both of the rocks are pretty much unbeatable, but the house is pretty doable to like deal with the wall. But it's still pretty hard, and those two rocks are still a big problem. So I feel like Slasher, considering his biggest weakness is looping, I feel like he would be kind of weak in this map. Next is John Doe. He has multiple spots he could put his traps, like that one drop with the U-turn where like you can put your spikes, and then you can put a digital footprint where you put your spikes, and then they can't escape and they have to go through the digital footprint to actually make it. This map has a lot of places that John Doe could trap, so he's pretty good in this map. One accident cool hit on nothing notable, except that there isn't any elevation, so I guess it's pretty bad. But I guess there's a fact that minions are pretty good in this map, because there are some tight corridors in this map, so minions could be good sometimes. This is a bad map from Noli. Well, but also a good one. Noli feels like it would be decent, because his Void Rush wouldn't have much space to dash, because there are a lot of obstacles to stop it. Then there's Nova, which there are multiple places where you can hit a wall and still hit a survivor. As for Guess 666, his Blood Hunt, well, this map is pretty small, so he could get a kill in Blood Hunt and then instantly go to another person in like 2 seconds. And I feel like his dash wouldn't be, well, his lunge wouldn't be hard to miss, because this map is very small. If you just catch someone at the right time, you're definitely gonna hit it. As for Nosferatu, not a lot to say. He's kind of like the same thing as John Doe, because you can like trap with your one long ability that puts blood on the ground. And his bad form. I mean, this map, like I said, is very small, but I guess that also means that his bad form would be very easy to see. So that being said, Grandma's Backyard's rating seems to be not that bad. Killers get to be like decent, some and like one is pretty good for sure, John Doe, and the rest are kind of bad. So I guess this brings this map to a 7 out of 10. Also, we're ranking this on like how good it would be for the killers. Like, let's say a map is really bad for killers, it would be like a 1 out of 10. But a really good one for killers would be 10 out of 10. We're not putting this on how fair it would be, just on how good it would be for the killers. So for Slasher, well, 2 things. There's still some quick spots here. There's the middle pillar, the case on top, there's the wall, and the Rock of Doom. However, we aren't like keeping fall stagger. If someone falls, they're gonna ragdoll like in the actual death game. So Slasher could basically just get a free dashing wound if someone falls. Next up is John Doe. And I don't really have much to say for this, but the best trap you could possibly do here is if they go up that mountain that I'm facing right now. Well, you can put your traps, and then if they fall, it's basically just like an arena. It's like a 1v1. Well, unless some other people come in. Nothing special for Cool Kid, and for 1x, there's just like way more elevation. Like there's a big mountain, and then there's like that staircase. And yeah, I mean, it probably wouldn't be that bad, because every time they fall, they get ragdoll, so it wouldn't be that bad. Also, when someone falls, he can use entanglement and then mass infection. This would be a good map for Noli, but also kind of mid. There aren't many places where you could use Nova, considering the fact that Nova would break glass, because like I said, we're keeping mechanics, whatever. But it's also a pretty open map, and he could get away from using dash if he's like somewhere around mid. And now I think this is an even smaller map than Grandma's Backyard, so Bloodhound is going to be even better for Get 666. And as for Nosferatu, this isn't that bad. There are many places you can trap like with his dash, and like you can also go pretty high up with your back thingy. In total, every killer right now would be good in this map mainly because when you fall, you can actually get punish people. Nothing wrong with this map. So Glass Houses gets a solid 9 out of 10. It's open, and when you fall, you get ragdolled. There's like nothing wrong with this map. So Bolivia is already the worst map for killers in that. So that's gonna be bad. But anyways, Slasher. He is gonna suck in this map, because there is this big hole in the middle, bro. He can't do anything. If people just run around, that's already like 1 minute wasted off the timer because he can't get over there fast enough. Like, he's cooked. Jason is actually cooked in this map. He sucks. He can't do anything. No places he can trap. I mean, this map is just gonna suck for Slasher. I mean, this might be fine for Cookit though, because his minions could probably at some point trap. 1x would be fine here because like I said, there's this big hole, and if you use your mass infection to actually hit it, it's gonna be good. And then there's also the entanglement. Once you get close enough, you might be able to hit it and then get really close. But then there's also the fact that if you miss it, there's just the chase restarted. If they get a clear view of where your mass infection is going, you're cooked. John Doe might be one of the best here. He can place the straps. If he places enough traps strategically, the big hole's not even gonna be a problem. And Noli, he can't use his Void Rush, his Nova, because his Nova is going to be really easy to dodge. His Void Rush is probably going to be a good movement tool, but yeah, no generators to teleport to either. And there are so many stuff outside of the middle that is going to be so hard to hit your dash. Is going to be so hard to hit your dash ability. Get 666 is useless here, because as we know, he has bigger hitboxes, making it even worse. And he's one of the slowest. He is the slowest killer in the game. And before you guys talk about his lunge, that lunge is not doing anything, bro. If he misses it, he's going to worry, and then he has to go back up and restart the chase. And he can't use his screen because that's gonna be the survivors down the other side. They're going to be too far, and he's going to be too far away to be able to get the speed boost. But Nosferatu is actually pretty good here. I mean, you can do your bat, and then you can just dive everywhere. Use your bat, and if they're on the other side, just dive. This is the only time his bat would be really useful. Because even if you miss, you gain a lot well, even if you miss, you gotta really kill your survivors. So moral of the story, basically it sucks. Every killer here gets they can't even get close to the survivors when they start going to the mill thingy. Yeah, this map gets a 3 out of 10, and the only reason why it's a 3 is because Nosferatu can get really close, and 1x1x1x1 has actually a chance. Okay, so this is another balanced one. First of all, Slasher, like we said before, he takes advantage in cornering people. Luckily, this map is just a bunch of big hallways, and yeah, that's pretty much it. There are no viable looping spots to counter him. So yeah, pretty solid. You can just run up and corner people because of the hallway. Anywhere you go, you're gonna end up on a wall being threatened by a fire Jason coming towards you. This map is so small that DoD could put like a digital footprint at any door and that would be enough. But I don't really know any, like that one place where there's like the loop and then there's the wall. I don't know how to explain it, but you can put spikes in a digital footprint right there, but that's pretty much it. Toolkit, just like normal, very boring. 1x, well, 1x, very flat map with like no elevation that can escape a projectile, but very open map so you can see like the mass infection, the projectiles very easily. Like I said, long hallways, and like they're really close together, so a void rush wouldn't be hard to hit, and neither would a nova be. Same for get 6 lunges, very easy to hit. But map is bigger than normal and you might have to take a long path if you get a kill far away from everyone else. So that will definitely make you lose some time of your blood hunt. By the time you get to people, you'll probably have like 30 seconds left of blood hunt. Nosferatu, this is a very good map for Nosferatu. Nosferatu can just like do a long dash and one area is like blocked off or else you get stoners and you get hit like 1 times. And his bat is a big map, so his bat definitely helps a lot because you want to move fast so that you don't lose time. Now this map is big, but like it's really good for killers, but it's also very big. And until the teapots teleport to like the bridge, well, until before that, it's gonna be a hard game because they can just keep going. But once the teapot moves, it's a pretty easy game because you can just keep going like. And right there you go, they're gonna end up in a dead end once that teapot hits. Also, every time I said the teapot moving, I meant like it teleports on the bridge. Overall, very solid map. Gets 8 out of 10 because the start may be rough, but but like when the teapot changes places, it gets pretty good. So now that's the end of the video. Personally, I would have finished this, but I don't really want to do a really long video as it makes a lot of people just not want to watch it. People don't really want to watch a long video. So, I'll do the last 3 maps in a separate video that should come out like tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. See you guys. Have a nice day.